Okay, I like this, please. I don't want him to be a spy. Let this be real. Seeing those white blurs in the background is always terrifying. Oh no, is this how we're gonna see him die? I hate the Empire so much. Why am I kind of rooting for her? What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben, and today I'll be reacting to Andor Season 1, Episode 7. Now, after the last episode, I really do not know what to think. That one kind of broke me a little bit. Everyone basically died, and I'm really because I know this episode is basically meant to be its own thing. It's not part of an arc. You have episode 1 to 3, an arc. 4 to 6, an arc. This one's meant to be its own separate thing. And what I'm getting from that is that I just hope it's a calm thing. We're going to follow Andor, and I'm hoping that it just shows him processing everything that's happened, because I need to process it. Literally, basically everyone on that mission was willing to die for what they were doing. Andor was the only one there that was basically just there for money. I'm hoping that we get to see a look into his mind and him consider that. All these people died kind of happy for what they believed in. They were doing, and the whole mission was a success, apart from Skeen, obviously, but that's a separate thing. But basically everyone died fighting for a mission that they fully believed in. Yeah, Andor was the only one who didn't believe in it, and he managed to survive. I'm kind of hoping that he feels that that's kind of unfair, that they should have all gotten to live, and it ignites some kind of passion in him. Obviously, the other passion that's going to be sparked is because of the manifesto that Nemik left for him, because he's obviously going to blame himself a little bit for that death, because he took off too fast, the thing flew back and hit him, and that's what caused Nemik to die. So there's going to be some kind of pain involved with that. I know this episode is going to be like hard to get through. I know it is, because it has to be dealing with everything that Andor has just lost. Even though he's barely connected to them, he spent 3 days getting to know them and bonding with them, and now it's all ended like this. Plus you have the whole Skeen thing, which is basically a reflection of Andor, because he's seen these two options that he could go down, being noble and passionate about fighting the Empire and dying for the cause, or where he's currently at and where he's currently going towards, Skeen, where he's ready to betray anyone for money. So I just need to get this episode started. I need to process it along with Andor and just seeing what he can do next, because he's still got the blue Kyber, and somehow he needs to return that to Luthen. So there's still a lot left for him to do, but I just know he has to process everything, and I'm hoping that this gets the ball rolling on his desire to fully join the rebellion and fully want to take down the Empire. But yeah, as always, if you do enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel to grow. If you do enjoy my content and you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon, the link will be in the description. Over there I'm uploading these videos and the full reaction a week in advance. If that's something you're interested in, feel free to check it out. But with that said, let's just dive on in. Is this your Uncle Harlow, which you don't want to go to? What position could he get? Because obviously it's going to link back to Andor. I'm scared. Whatever, if it's like any sort of type of power, it will end badly for everyone.
The Bureau of Standards is in the market for individuals.
It's brown suit.
It's your interview.
Perhaps you would like to come along.
You correct every flaw he makes.
You need to remember you're not just representing yourself today.
To brown suit.
She ain't gonna quit.
Everything says something, Cyril. I've tried to make you understand that. You've resisted.
She's kind of right.
Look at me. I don't believe in myself. I am desperate for approval.
It's technically true. Yeah, he is kind of like that. He always wants to be sort of praised. He wants to be told that he does a good job. He tries extremely hard, but maybe it does, and he believes in the Empire fully, but maybe he does sort of really want to be told that he's doing good.
Criminals responsible for last night's atrocity on Aldhani think they've taken the Empire by surprise. We know better.
And now they come with a vengeance.
Be here this morning and know that the only question we need to answer is how tight to close our fist.
Oh dear, these lines are brilliant.
Tribute tax equal to 5 times the amount stolen from Aldhani.
Oh wow, oh no. Okay, so they're taking it out on every other person to make everyone hate the people that did this. Makes sense.
Will trigger permanent revocation of Imperial tolerance. I spoke with Emperor Palpatine last night.
Is that Yularen who's got the mustache? I can never tell. Yularen is always getting confused. I know he's with the ISB.
The Emperor will be convening an emergency session of the Senate, propose a legislation package of bills and amendments
Can Mon Mothma do anything against that?
in all matters of surveillance, search and seizure.
Oh, so you'll be, oh yeah, full-on dictatorship, yeah.
With even indirect effect on the Empire, will henceforth be branded a Class 1 offence.
Oh dear, yeah, fully just putting your foot down.
All outstanding fines and levies are to be paid in full.
She scares me. Just unwavering dedication, and she feels she's just scary. She feels very competent at what she does.
We're treating what happened at Aldhani like a robbery. What would you call it? An announcement.
She sees what they don't, and they're not listening to her. So where does that leave her? What can she do?
Are being interrogated by ISB. ISD confirms that tracking devices in the escape raft.
I really don't want to know what Luthen's plan is, because it doesn't feel like he has one. I feel like he only just wants to hurt the Empire, not actually have a structured response to what they would do after this incident. Does he have a plan for that?
Mon Mothma,
Without warning?
wipe the smile off your face.
Yeah, he's still very happy about everything that's happened. Good. So I feel like he is confident in something then.
Perrin likes it. I'm just not sure he loves it. I think I might want the other one.
And the driver stays outside. You can all drop the axe. Come on. I've got to look for Easter eggs. I've been told there's so many Easter eggs in here.
The garrison, Aldani.
Ah! Is it true? Claire was just...
Making sure you're not being watched. Can you lip read? Is that what you're looking for?
You might do something like this.
How I wish I had.
Okay, he's trying not to admit it. Or is that just for show for the driver? When can he, like, drop the act?
Revolutions are expensive.
I told you I'm doing everything I can.
Your everything seemed to be all about bringing in a savior to access your family funds.
Absolutely love him. Just the way he switches up when he's not looking at the door.
It was you, wasn't it?
I explained to you the risk of new faces, but you seem to know better.
Okay, oh dear, what's happening? Okay, I love the pattern here. You'd think Mon Mothma would be more powerful, but she feels below Luthen.
What were my words?
This is something else entirely.
Turning back will be impossible. You knew where this was going.
So she was just unprepared for what all of this would mean? Wait, oh, I saw an Easter egg. I think I saw it. Jedi Temple Mask, saw that.
The network's been built. It's up. Grows or it dies.
It started. The seed has been planted. Can she jump? Can she stay on board?
The team won't hesitate now.
Exactly. We need it.
And it will turn the galaxy against him.
Fear. We need them to overreact.
You can't be serious.
He does have a plan. Okay, yeah, oh.
Has been choking us so slowly we're starting not to notice.
And this will make everyone notice.
People will suffer.
That's the plan.
I love this. These two have got to be like the leaders and the original like people of the rebellion. Mon Mothma with the caring hand that wants to do good, but Luthen with the serious hand who knows what needs to be done. It's a good balance, because obviously if Luthen was the only one in charge, I think there would be nothing left.
Let me know how the meeting goes.
I'm afraid I won't be taking either of these pieces this morning.
I feel the pain on her face. The acting is brilliant. The way she's so not okay with this, but has to go along.
I hope she's worth it.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
They're still not testing her.
Can't hide forever.
Oh, so okay, they do have a plan, but I'm scared to think about what it actually fully is.
There are no small jobs at the Bureau of Standards.
It is where you are. So not something powerful, kind of good.
Weights and gauges may seem a more vibrant arena than redundancy or verification, but walk the floor.
Yeah, very boring. So is this just another, like, sort of nail in the coffin for him? Another little just jab from Andor that he's now been reduced to? Even this, not like a step up.
There's a rebel murderer running free because of corruption and laxity in the corporate authority. I was punished for trying to uphold the law, do my job, maintain public safety.
Okay, so you don't think you failed, you think other people failed you. So that is ego.
I fully intend to clear my name and have my record expunged.
No, it was your fault. You gave them information that allowed them to escape.
Happen to have an immediate opening in fuel purity. I'd hate to see you miss your chance.
Fuel purity. And resign to that little cage. Okay, yeah, his life is just falling apart. Okay, that's interesting. So it isn't just he thought that he failed, he thinks other people failed him, and that he did nothing wrong. That is delusion. Who are you? Passing by stormtroopers. What's happening? This seems suspicious. I love these shots of just... Oh, it's just... Seeing Coruscant like this, it just feels so, like, trapped. Symbol. Oh, what's that? Okay, going somewhere. Secret? That's a sign. All this concrete everywhere. Almost feels suffocating.
At ease, attendant.
Yes, sir. Ma'am. Sir.
Your tunic.
Sorry.
Oh, dear.
What is your name?
Felzonis. Attendant Felzonis.
Can you fire him? I don't know what you do.
Need a multi-sector data blend going back 2 years. The survey pool is Imperial naval bases and repair facilities.
Nice to know she isn't as insane as just to fire him on the spot for not, like, being presentable or just not being asleep.
For which star system?
All star systems.
Is
that a problem?
That's a lot.
I'll need this report kept confidential, and a copy sent exclusively to my office. Can I rely on you?
She's going rogue. I think so. She's gathering evidence. She wants to prove it to everyone else because she needs everyone else to know about it, but she's gathering evidence. This is scary because nothing's going to stop her. She's going to do stuff. Sintra, okay, what are you up to? Because you were just left here. I got a feeling. Yeah, Star Destroyer. Oh, great. So, how can you get off the planet? Where are you going? What can you do? Meeting someone? Who? What's happening here? She was very incognito.
Where is he?
Val?
The money's safe.
We know. It's been moved already. You've done exceptional work.
Oh wait, is that Luthon's assistant?
I recruited Tarramin myself. Nemec, go on, they'll all be remembered.
That's it.
He had doubts about schemes. One less thing to worry about.
And he was right about Skeen.
You heard from Cinta?
She's doing what she was told.
Which was what?
And receiving messages is just as dangerous as sending them. You should keep that in mind. We have a loose end. Cassian Andor.
Oh no. Don't go after them.
Find him.
We can't have him walking around with Luthen in his head.
You gotta be kidding. No, you're gonna take it. No.
This is what revolution looks like.
No, this is bad. This is not what revolution looks like. This is just bad. But it is kind of... Yeah, it is kind of bad. Yeah. Okay, so now... See, the thing is, Val's probably going to enjoy this after what she believes Andor did. How is this going to get him into the rebellion if they're going to try and kill him now? Back with Marva. Oh, B. She sleeps with a blaster. Awesome.
Cassian! Since when do we lock the door?
You came back to where they would know you'd go. That isn't good.
Kicked out Primor, took over the hotel. Ferrix is under Imperial authority.
And you are a fugitive.
Tim. What?
Dead.
Carlo turned you in.
Now he's dead.
No point in stewing over it. He's dead now.
Yeah, it sort of took care of itself.
Vix knew about it?
No, she was coming to warn you, and Tim was trying to stop her or to catch her. I don't know. I've heard both, but you can't be here, Cass.
So the whole town just knows what everything that's happened now.
They're not going away this time. It's all come undone.
We won't have to worry about that.
Oh, you're gonna take her away.
We're leaving.
To go where?
Anywhere we want.
He looks so happy.
I've got enough credits to get us anywhere. We're gonna clear out.
What's the issue? What's the problem that's going to arise from this?
What do we need to take but the three of us? Get out of the cold and damp. Find somewhere warm and easy.
It all sounds nice, but someone was going to shoot this down.
It's all gonna be different now, Ma.
Oh, Ma. Someone's going to ruin this. Someone's going to ruin this. I can't have hope.
There's such a lot to take in.
No one knows I'm here. We take what we can carry.
Such a lot to take in. No, something's definitely off.
Yeah, I get so tired. You surprised me.
What's happening?
I'll check up on Biggs, and we'll pull out first thing in the morning.
No, she switched up. What's happening? She's gone too agreeable. I don't trust anything now. She's gone far too agreeable. There's a switch up in her personality and just her attitude towards things. That's... maybe it's because of good news, but I just have a distrusting nature.
Well, I haven't been home all year.
You haven't missed much.
No, it's you. You always seem to be away when I'm there.
So it's the party full of enemies that she didn't want to have her husband forced anyway.
We're both a long way from where we started.
Have I changed so much?
We've all had to adapt.
Is it that bad?
Is she seeing that she might have been compromised by the Empire from who she was?
This is Tay Comer, one of my oldest friends.
How do you do?
Well, yeah, oldest friend, I don't know, that could be a great spy, someone you trust.
It's been a long time and you've certainly grown up.
So everyone says.
Typical banker, no one pays me to be original.
Banker.
I spent a great deal of time thinking about this conversation. I want to tell you something.
All the voices in the background,
Because I need your help, and I'm hoping I can trust you.
Is this going to be a mistake?
Is this personal or political?
Political?
Then I'd suggest you hesitate.
Why?
Like I said, we've both changed.
Oh, what's he now? What's he with now?
Grow weary of the Empire. I'm afraid you'd find my politics a bit strong for your taste.
Oh, no. That's kind of good. Is that exactly what she wants to hear? Is that...
I'm not sure you're aware how far afield some of us have taken our political allegiances these days.
You'd be surprised if you're not a spy.
Keep smiling, as if we're having a happy chat about childhood days.
And no one can hear this. There's no bugs. Is this all good?
Understand?
No, we don't.
Yeah, because you're on the same side, if you are to be trusted.
Sometimes indecisive senator who spends the days fighting and failing to protect separatist do-gooders.
And all the world's just shut out, just them.
Irritation, as you so harshly put it.
I've made you angry.
No, you set me free.
Good line.
It's a lie. The Mon Mothma people think they know. It's a lie.
She's reaching out. Please don't be a traitor. Please be good.
Smile.
Just the reassurance. Got to smile. Come on, keep up appearances.
My driver is an ISB plant and reports on my secret humanitarian programs.
Okay, you know. So they're an ISB plant.
Because as long as everyone thinks I'm an irritation, there's a good chance they'll miss what I'm really doing.
Yes!
I need to access my family accounts. Until recently, I was able to dip in and out of my family fortune without concern.
Okay, but now it's been sort of blocked off. You're being watched too much. You need something else.
You're my best shot.
You haven't answered my question.
And I won't.
You can't.
You're better off not knowing.
Yep, just play along.
Perhaps you find my politics a bit strong for your taste.
Okay, I like this, please. I don't want him to be a spy. Let this be real.
He knows none of this. He's not to be trusted.
Ooh, okay. That's so huge. You can't even trust your husband with this. And of course you can't, but like just to say it out loud.
She pretends not to care, but we both know better, don't we?
It was ever thus.
So the lie even works on him. It shows how deep it goes and how good she is at it. Her own husband, the person that she would spend most time with, doesn't see the real her. Of course, that probably doesn't mean their marriage is doing great then. Unless the facade that she puts on is good enough to, like, I guess, maintain it. Over to you. Are you processing anything or just trying to run? You've been faced with the reflection of yourself with a scheme, and you haven't even looked at Nemec's manifesto yet. I feel like when that shows up, or you glance at it, that's going to do something. But right now you're just trying to run. I still feel something's off. Something isn't right here. We know the Empire's here, but I feel like there could be a trap. They would know that the first place Andor would come back to is here.
Hey.
Gus.
Hey.
How is she after everything that happened? Pretty not good, right? And what is the Empire doing? I hope the Empire leaves her alone.
This is the last place you should be.
I think those were his exact words.
It's not safe here.
Is she gonna open the door?
Tim?
I guess he thought you and I were back together.
Why would he think that?
Because he's insecure.
What happened to you?
Oh. Grieving plus, of course, what happened to her, yep.
You can't be here, Gus.
Troopers won't catch me. Not here.
You sure?
You'll be turned in.
By who?
By who? By anyone? People blame you for what happened.
Seriously, they turned against him that quickly? I thought they'd have his back.
Put the entire town at risk and now there's Imperials on the street.
If Tim had kept his mouth shut.
If this, if that. If you, if me, if Tim.
Yeah. You're the only one left alive left to blame.
Your crazy boyfriend tries to get me killed, and I'm the villain.
You need to get as far away from here as you can.
She's trying to protect you. Leave. That's so interesting how they switch up. Because in the first episode, we saw how much he did put them at risk, but they were fine with it. They would go along with it. But apparently now, he's pushed it too far. Does that mean Marva might also blame him?
The buyer. Who is he?
I don't know.
You're lying.
You do know. You talked very openly with him.
He knew all about me. How?
I don't know. And you're right, he did know. He knew that the corpos were on you, but not from me.
I'm going to choose to believe her. I don't see why she would lie.
Tell him I held up my end of the deal. And he needs to forget about me.
Can't happen. You can't forget about him, though. That's the issue. And Vel is going to hunt you down with a vengeance.
12,000 credits. It's everything I owe.
Nice. So settling debts, yay. And now you just need to disappear. But I'm scared about the whole Marva situation. She switched up, and now we know that anyone would sort of turn him in. What would Marva do? Surely not. He's her son. She would hopefully love him more than, I guess, the planet they're on. But I am scared. Run, run, run. Seeing those white blurs in the background is always terrifying.
This is not our fight, Cass. Don't worry. They won't be here long.
Flashback.
Raise their silly flag and fly away.
Oh, wait, this is his father figure, right? Marva's husband. That's Clem, the one he named himself after. Oh no, is this how we're gonna see him die? No, and he's the one closest to them, no! You gotta be kidding me. He was just gonna let them... No. Oh, I hate this. Hate this so much. He did nothing. He did nothing. Okay, there's your rebel origin story. How come that isn't kicked in more? You're just suppressing it. You're angry with them, but it's still not enough apparently.
Mama Marva, he's back.
Are you packed? What are you doing? We haven't seen her yet.
Says we can't go.
Be quiet.
What is this?
I'm not going.
Why?
I'm staying.
But it's not safe.
I know all that.
I can't be here.
Is it because it's where your husband died?
There's an Imperial barracks on Rick's Road.
Good luck to them.
You want to live under that?
It's happening everywhere.
Are you just giving up?
Place they haven't ruined yet.
I'm already there. That place is in my head. They can build as many barracks as they like. They'll never find me.
It's a good way to look at it, yeah.
The rebellion.
What?
Ferrix has been hiding long enough.
What has she got prepared? What is she doing? Huh?
I walk down Rick's Road. I turn off before I get to the square. I take the long way round, so I don't have to think about Clem hanging there.
So they didn't shoot him there. So, yep. And they just left him up there. I hate the Empire so much.
Attack at Aldani. Have you heard about this?
What about it?
Well, Bede played me the news. You know what I'm talking about?
You're gonna be happy with that? Would you be happy that he was part of it?
I heard that. I put on my best coat and I walked across the square with a smile on my face.
Oh. You did that! You helped that! Say it!
Brave enough to take on a whole Imperial garrison. I'm brave enough to stick it out here.
nice, but they're so kind of, it's your doing. Tell her!
Aldani was just a robbery.
He's trying to convince her to leave. If he tells her the truth, she will never leave.
But there's work that will need doing.
Yeah? What is that?
Whatever it takes.
She's the example that robbery sets. It shows what happens with the rest of the universe when they see that.
You have a different path, Cass, and I am not judging you.
I won't have peace. I'll be worried about you all the time.
That's just love.
It's beautiful. Ah! What can he do? So he just has to leave without her, because there's no way she's leaving.
I've never loved anything the way I love you.
Oh.
And I've never fretted on anything more, but this time you can't stay and I can't go.
I hate this so much, but love it. How is this still not pushing him to fight the Empire?
Tell me you understand.
I don't.
You will, you'll see.
She doesn't want to leave. She doesn't want him to leave while he's angry at her, because they want to leave on good terms, but I don't think that's going to happen. They're not in the same position.
Stop searching for your sister. It's a fantasy.
Oh.
There were no survivors on Canary.
But there was one Canary girl at the bottom. That was true. They said that.
What happened there was not your responsibility. You were a child.
There's got to be more to that. It can't all have just been wiped out.
I'm coming back.
Of course you are.
Oh, Andor did this. He's what inspired her. He got her to walk through the square after her husband died. He did this, and now he's like regretting it. How can this push him to the rebellion? I feel like we're just seeing him build up more and more walls against it.
Full audit of all hyperspace lanes leading to Ord Mantell on my desk by this time tomorrow.
Okay, giant audit of hyperspace lanes. Nice.
Good news, is it?
I'm afraid not. I wish to lodge a charge against a fellow supervisor.
Oh no. Okay, so Dedra will have some pushback.
And that this overreach, for which she was previously reprimanded, risks compromising Imperial safety to a degree that silence is no longer possible.
This could be a big moment for her. If she stands up and tells them what they think, she could inspire them.
Supervisor Blevin obviously finds my conduct a more interesting subject than the advancement of integrated Imperial security. He's put a lot into it.
I'm kind of enjoying the pushback, but again, these are the bad guys.
You determined her request was out of order and in violation of the chain of command.
That's not accurate. You advised me to reinforce my suspicions with data and
evidence. Yeah.
I'd be curious how many people at this table will think it careful that you found a way to access our sector data without ever
punching holes in it. She just needs to get to the point. She just needs to get to the evidence. Why am I kind of rooting for her?
I'd like to know if anyone here believes the rebellion plans its actions around the artificially constructed boundaries of our sectors.
Get them questioning.
As organizing principles, not personal playthings, do you really think the rebels care about the lines we draw on maps?
You think the relevance of my work has been supplanted?
Yes, come on. Question things.
Systems either change or die. Sir.
Come on, be confident. Good, come on. Why am I rooting for her?
There is a focused, organized rebel effort to acquire highly restricted Imperial military components.
The Star Path unit.
I can now prove a link between the theft of our most secret equipment and its distribution to...
I'm kind of happy with her with this. I find it satisfying.
I believe Supervisor Blevin is aware I have a documented file ready to go. I believe his accusations here this morning have more to do with self-preservation than...
He messed up and he's trying to cover his butt.
Than a renegade intelligence officer. Imagine if everyone in this room played as loose with the rules as you.
All she needs to do is get to the point.
For the moment, I'm reassigning the Morlana sector to Supervisor Mira.
She wins.
This is of great interest.
Why am I happy about that? I love this scene. They're the bad guys, but I'm actually rooting for one of them. The way Dedra is written is just so interesting. She's the underdog, but of course, in the bad place. And she's still going to do bad things if she rises up.
Thank you all for the lively session. Dedra, if you'd walk with me a moment.
She's just stood out. She's going to become one of the best ISB agents, isn't she? I am terrified now. Also, I just find the scene satisfying, watching her win. After she was looked down on, she got the evidence. She did it. Yeah, well played. It was impressive.
Watch your back.
And he's giving her advice. Oh, yeah, they're going to come for her because she stuck out. Oh, I like her a lot. I don't know what to do with that. This is nice. Birds, tropical. Nice beachside location.
Keith.
I'll be out in a minute.
This is where he's run to, and it's another fake name, yeah.
He's Odin Revnok. The greeny green one. The greeny Revnok. You liked it too.
So, are you enjoying this life now? What? Why are they running? What? Trooper, ooh. Get out of the trooper's way or else they might shoot you. This is the lax of rebellion he's going to start seeing everywhere because of what he did. That would be awesome. People are fighting back. He's seeing what he did. He's seeing the effects of it all. It's small, but it's something. Let me guess, he's going to move to another planet and see the same thing. Maybe? It would be fun to see a bunch of transitions where he's just planet hopping, trying to get away from it all, but seeing the effects of what he did everywhere he goes.
What do you think you're doing?
Excuse me?
You keep looking around.
You look suspicious.
What's going on?
You a part of it?
Part of what?
Don't play dumb.
Great, no. Now what? Now what? Now what?
You look like you're sweating.
Well, it's hot.
Or you've been running.
Why would I be running?
Have you just been caught like this?
I'll ask the questions. Pier 9, runners heading south.
Why was he looking so suspicious?
Wait, no. I don't know anybody here. I'm a tourist.
Rogue One, droid.
Not running.
You got that right. That window is shut.
Oh, you caught them? Okay.
I'm just going to the store. It's right there.
You need to calm down, sir.
Has he just been... I'm so confused. Has he been caught?
Wait, what is he... No, this is crazy.
Hang on to this one for me. I want to check the shelter.
Was this intentional? He knows that being suspicious would get him noticed.
No, he meant watch. No, he means watch.
What? What's happening? Hang? Why you... Oh, dear.
Tell him you mean watch.
This can't have been intentional, surely. What did he just do?
4 months. Next.
You just got arrested. Are you serious? After everything you've managed to get away, now you're back here? Huh? Keith. Okay, fake name. Sure, hopefully you're not identified. How did you get caught like this? You just escaped a robbery.
Fleeing the scene of anti-imperial activity, attempted damage to imperial property.
I'm sorry, there's something wrong.
I wouldn't. We got enough trouble without a resisting judgment charge.
Resisting judgment? Oh, this place is awful.
This used to be a 6-month sentence.
Used to.
6 years.
Ah!
6 years?
How did you mess up so badly?
Change of guidelines.
Take him away.
I didn't do anything.
And he's not allowed to have a lawyer. It's just whatever the prosecutor says happens. Yeah, Luthen's plan definitely would work. You saw Vel coming for him. How does this work? Bureau. Are you going to see his name somehow? Maybe. That'd be kind of funny. Everywhere you go, you still see him. That's like so depressing. Just 1 of a million. Don't stand out at all. That's gonna drive me crazy. Okay, this episode was great. Okay, I need to get my head around everything now that just happened. So, again, I was wrong at the start. This wasn't just watching Andor process everything that happened. It's him trying to run away from it all. So, that's still left to go. The manifesto is gonna be the big thing. That's gonna be what makes him join the rebellion. That thing will make him remind him of it. Right now, he's just on the run. I was thinking it's quite nice that this episode didn't even start with Andor, and it basically took a while. It actually took a long while to actually get to him. We focused on Luthen and Mon Mothma first and showing off their stories, then building up to, I guess, what Andor is currently going through, which is trying to get his mum to safety, but realizing that he's inspired her. Accidentally, yes, but he has inspired her. Now, and he's done a lot for it. It's so sweet. That entire scene is so sweet. Her not being able to walk through the square where her husband was hanged all this time, but now she can walk through it with a smile on her face, knowing that someone fought back against the Empire. And she doesn't even know it was him. So slowly that must be our first step into Andor realizing it wasn't just about money, there was far more that went into that. And hopefully you can see some deeper meaning behind that mission. Then of course we also see how awful the Empire is getting, where they're becoming far more authoritarian and fascist, with them just not even having lawyers or anything, just straight prosecution, you're charged with this, 6 years now, no sort of allowance for someone to defend themselves against the charge. Like, I'm honestly shocked that that's how Andor, got arrested? He's someone that knows that if he looks suspicious, he'll be caught. Something will be done to him. He has experience. Why did he allow himself to look suspicious? It almost makes me think it was purposeful, but I really doubt that. This was very accidental. I don't think he intended to be locked up for 6 years. Like the robot saying hang has got to be so sort of traumatic, knowing that it was only it was meant to just have him be watched. It was only meant to watch him, but that robot just repeating hang over and over again has got to send him a little bit spiraling into thinking what happened to his dad. So I love that we got those flashbacks as well, where we saw how it actually happened. The dad did nothing wrong. He tried to stop people, but because he... That's it. Oh, that's perfect. That's so heartbreakingly perfect. You had basically rebels that caused the storm, that went against the stormtroopers, that attacked them. The dad got in the way and got blamed for it, and so he got killed. The dad did nothing but stand by the dad did nothing but stand by and got involved, and he got killed. And Andor sees that he survived by just standing by and watching. That's where he's at. So how on earth can he overcome this to actually try and fight them? It's so insane and it's just insanely well done. Then we had Luthen and Mon Mothma. We get to see more of them again. Luthen just being happy and now realizing that he has a loose end, and so he wants to get Andor killed and taken out. That's great, and of course he's found the perfect person to do it. Val definitely would go out for blood for what she thinks he did. Nemec died, everyone died, Skeen died, and she doesn't realize he was a traitor, so yeah, she's probably gonna enjoy killing him. But I do love that we saw the switch of that. She's almost unrecognizable with how she changed her appearance to match him with Coruscant. I also like that we got more on, I'm gonna call it the assistant in Luthen's shop, or I guess the other shopkeeper there. Just her with her hair down, automatically looks insanely different. But I like that we get more on her, so she is the other third member. She feels as important with Luthen and Mon Mothma then, considering she knows everything that they do. I don't know what her name is and what her role in this is then, if it isn't just a dynamic between Luthen and Mon Mothma. But then, of course, Mon Mothma's scenes, absolutely breathtaking. Loved her acting when she was talking to Luthen, and just the switch up and stuff that she had to do, and just how she was holding back her sort of anger and I guess sadness about what's happened and what's about to happen because what the Empire's response will be. But of course she has to say that she is still on board. Then her party with her husband and her old friend, all of that was just perfect. Her finding someone she can have a confidant in, someone that's not her husband, someone that she's actually close with. So not just Luthen, who's connection because of the rebellion. This is someone that she could actually have a friendship with and that she can actually talk this stuff about. So it was so nice to see, and I just love how difficult it was to get the sense of what people actually thought there, because they're surrounded by enemies, and I just love how the sound design, and it was done so well. Having most of the scene be a balance between them two talking and hearing all the chatter going on in the background. And then when they finally started talking about it, it all drowned out. It all went silence as they focused on each other and what they were saying and the importance of it. It felt like they were in their own little world. The only two of them could actually talk about this, so isolated from everyone else because of the subject they were talking about. And it makes me feel happier for Mon Mothma, knowing that she has someone that she can sort of rely on there. I really don't want to think he's a spy. He can't be a spy. I'm going to choose to trust him. But it's so sad thinking that also her husband, she can't tell anything about, but this guy she can. That's good. So happy and sad at the same time. And then Marva, she was just phenomenal. Absolutely love her. And like just going back to Ferrix in general was great. Getting to see Bix again was great. Because of course we're seeing how sort of destroyed she is by everything. She's a great example of the effects of the Empire and what it does to people. So I guess what Ferrix showed us, it's two examples of what the Empire does. First, it's just effects and ramifications through Bix and how sort of destroyed she is. Her boyfriend's dead. She's beaten and just destroyed both physically and mentally. She's a great example of what the Empire does to people. Then Marva is a perfect example of what the rebellion does to people. How it inspires them to fight back, how it changes them, how it gets them sort of more confident. And I just love the line where she's saying the only place left in the entire galaxy where the Empire can't reach is inside her mind. It's beautiful. She is safe. She's perfect where she is. But of course that means she has to leave Andor, and it's just the lines that they share is beautiful and so sad. Like because like Andor is so alone right now. We watched him go from being surrounded by family and friends, then go into this rebellion thing where he was paid to be a part of, started to get bonds, but then they all died, and now it seems like he's being shoved in prison without anyone. So it just feels like more and more walls are being built up around his idea of joining and being a part of the rebellion. We know he eventually does it, and part of him dies inside because of how he is an assassin. But the depth they are going to with this character is just beautiful. The whole angle with his father dying and being hanged, now actually being faced with sort of one of his worst fears, being incarcerated by them and being at their mercy like this. He has to go by this fake name. If they find out who he really is, he's dead. And now he's closer than ever to that possibility. Then of course Cyril, I think he's the last thing to talk about here, and his life is just depressing. I feel like we're just seeing more. Oh no, we also have Dedra to talk about. Cyril, his life is so depressing, but it's kind of funny, but also you can see how it's just the makings of a monster, and they're really laying it on. I feel like it's been 3 episodes since his defeat, and the longer it goes on, it just feels like he's getting more and more defeated. It doesn't feel like he's being built up yet to be the monster that he so easily could be. I feel like all he needs is a spark, and then he just spirals. Because right now, I almost expect him to get some kind of power or some kind of authority that gets him back on track to where he can take on Andor again. Right now, he's nowhere near that. He's in a bureau stuck as just a dime a dozen of all the others, lost in the crowd, which is exactly what he doesn't want. He has a huge ego, that's what this revealed. He does not believe he failed at all. He believes other people failed him. He's the one that was taken hostage. He's the one that gave Andor information that allowed him to escape. He's the one that even got tied up and yeah, he was useless. He was the reason it all fell apart, yet he doesn't even see that. He's completely deluded, and he actually is still there, so he isn't even broken fully. So there's another part of him that could be broken yet, which will be quite fun to see if that will happen. But yeah, so he's now got some kind of ladder of progress where he has this job then from his uncle Harlow, which we have not met. I feel like that could be something. Seems powerful and influential if you got him this job. But it's a start for him. With his ego, he's gonna try and climb up quickly so he doesn't go and drive himself insane, being stuck in this tiny cubicle. And then we have Dedra. I have so many conflicting thoughts on her. I actually want to root for her, even though she's the bad guy. She seems like such an insane character. I love the character so much, with just what she's able to do, and just her personality, and just her drive. She's great. But of course, she's a bad guy. She's the underdog in the ISB that I want to see do well, but then if she does well, that's bad for the rebellion and everyone. She is a monster, but in a different way than Cyril is. She is just capable. Cyril isn't. He's just crazy. He's kind of nuts. Dedra is capable, and that's what makes her so scary. And she beat the other guy there. She impressed the main one, and now she has to watch her back against everyone else. She is going to be a right nightmare to deal with, as well as everything else that Andor has to now deal with. I feel like she isn't Andor's enemy. She is Luthen's enemy. If Andor has an enemy in this, it's Cyril. If Luthen has an enemy, it's Dedra. Okay, this episode was so good. I love how each one kind of goes against my expectations, because it felt like the natural next step after the last one was just to process everything. But nope, it completely it kind of ignores everything that happened in the last one because of Andor. He's just running away from everything, and that's the point. Instead, we're seeing the effects of it through everyone else. Andor is not even thinking about it, not even mentioning the names, not mentioning the people that got lost. Only other people are doing that. So it really goes to show how much Andor is running from the entire idea of being part of the rebellion, fighting against the Empire. He's running from all of it. The fight that Luthen saw in him is there, but it isn't just a wall that's there, it's him actively running away from it. So like, how do you even do that? Because walls you can break down, but how do you steer Andor into a different direction? So like through this episode, we get to see a lot from him and just what he's going through. First, just his initial like talk with Marva and him wanting to run away. The happiness in his face is just so kind of nice after everything that happened. But again, that's also a sign of him running away, not grieving over it, not trying to think about the bonds that he did form with people there. He's just happy he got the money and can provide a better life for Marva. Obviously that gets shot down when she refuses to leave. But like, just the whole scene was so beautiful. Just seeing how everything that connects them, and the flashback especially, was just so well done. Seeing how his dad did die, because we saw him in the I think third episode when they first met Andor and took him away, and he was initially against it. He was hesitant. Marva was definitely the more nurturing one. But seeing like this scene adds so much care and attachment to them. We don't even see anything more on their connection, but that did it. It made their bond look so strong. It obviously shows how much his death did affect Andor. I now know that Clem was his name, and that's the name Andor used to cover his identity. Like, just the looks that they shared, knowing what was about to happen, was so heartbreaking. And we had that other scene, which I'm trying to think about in my mind. I think it was a young Andor running at stormtroopers with like a stick in his hand ready to fight them, like he did on Kenari when he went against the ship. There's that angle. When someone dies, he gets that fight in him. When someone he loves dies, that's when it happens. But so far, he's lost people already, but again, that fight hasn't sparked yet. So we know how it works. He has fought stormtroopers, but he seemed to be let off. That's what that small flashback is telling me. So that, I mean, who needs to die then for him to turn around and then fight the Empire? It sets up a trend there. First, the leader of his tribe dies, and then he goes and fights the ship. Then his dad dies, and he goes and fights stormtroopers. Who needs to die for him to fight and join the rebellion? My gut feeling tells me Marva, which I really hate the idea of. It's always been someone he's been deeply connected with. Tribe leader, which apparently he could have had a crush on. His dad. Next one, maybe his mum. Because other than that, we've seen the bond that he shared with the rebel group. Nemik especially, I feel like he had the strongest bond with. He died. The manifesto Andor has, but hasn't touched apparently. And that hasn't caused a fight yet. He's still running. It makes me think so much that Marva's going to get killed, and that is what's going to push Andor to actually start fighting. But then at the end of this, of course, he gets locked up in prison. Now, the whole scene is confusing to me. I feel like someone like Andor wouldn't get themselves caught like this, being all distracted. Maybe it's his curiosity. I think it's just his curiosity. He wanted to find out what was happening. He didn't understand it, so he just tried to investigate. But then again, that feels odd. He's the kind of person that would run and ignore what the Empire's doing. So this is a start of something. He was curious and wanted to find out what was happening. That's a change. Don't quite understand it, but that's happened. And then in doing so, he gets arrested because we get to see the authoritative nature of the Empire and just how nuts they are becoming. Where they're becoming overbearing, and anything that looks out of place they're going to arrest and give them a 6-year prison sentence. By the entire scene with him being kind of hung by the robot was just, it feels so odd because you now know what it means because of the flashback. Hang. That would send him right back to what happened to his dad, and it's making him fear that he's got the same fate. And technically he kind of does, being rotting away in prison. Mon Mothma, oh, she was brilliant. I still can't get over the acting that she has with Luthen. Because of course with Luthen, he's gotten quite a few times where he's got to switch up the personality, and it makes a big focus of that. Where he's switching from facing the wall, where the driver could see, to facing away, and then he changes. Mon Mothma, I feel like we've got the best good focus on her version of that, where she's able to hold such sadness within her, but also say that she's on board with it. She was so terrified of what actually Luthen did and what the Empire would do in retaliation, and she was not on board for that. She wasn't ready. This was the first time it happened. She has now been dumped into the deep end of what the rebellion is capable of. She knows that people will suffer, and I love how it does highlight that she does care, and that's where her sort of motivation's coming from. She hates what the Empire's doing. She hates that people are suffering. That's why she wants the rebellion to work, so they no longer have to suffer. She doesn't like the idea of the rebellion causing suffering as well. But that's what makes her a good leader paired with Luthen. One that will make sure that the rebellion is a force for good, while the other will make sure that it does whatever it takes to ensure the Empire falls. It makes them a brilliant pair to actually get this thing up and running. Of course, not sure where Luthen is during the rest of everything, but right now it makes them such a good combo. And then the dinner scene, the party, that whole thing. Again, brilliant. I loved how long it took for her to feel confident to tell her old friend that what she was doing. The lines in it were brilliant, and I just love the sound design as everything drowned out as they talked in their own little world about what was going on for them. Not liking the Empire anymore. Joining sides. He better not be a spy, but again, I just love everything that it does. How it makes it so, how it reinforces the facade that she has, where she can't even tell her husband this. It really just emphasizes how alone she must feel, and now she finally can reach out to someone that she can trust. I'm really hoping that doesn't blow up in her face. But I think I'm just loving so much what this show is doing for Mon Mothma. For so long, she's felt almost like a background character in a sense. I know that feels wrong. It does feel wrong to say because of how important she is, but we've barely gotten anything on her. In Clone Wars, she appeared a few times, partnered up with Padme. She was part of the trio between Padme, Organa, and herself. But she didn't do much there. Then we get to like the original trilogy stuff where she's leading the rebellion, she's in there, but again, it doesn't do a lot with her. She's seen as the leader, but of course the focus is obviously on Han, Leia, and Luke. Then we get into all the other stuff after with Ahsoka and all of that, and she is now the Chancellor. She is super important, yet her character still hasn't been fleshed out and developed as much as I would like. This is doing it, and it's incredible to see. The amount of effort and danger that she's in, she's risking her life, her family, everything to try and get the rebellion up and running. Of course, Rogue One did do some more on her there, which I did enjoy, but this is really going deep down into her personal life and just her emotional state at what she's doing. It really creates that sense of connection to this character, which is needed for someone that's going to be as important as she is. I can't wait to see what else this show is going to do with her, because already she feels like an insane character. She already feels so much better than she ever has. Then Marva, I got the suspicious feeling she's going to die. It would be the perfect motivation for Andor to turn around and fight the Empire again. But I do love what this episode does for her in just how confident it makes her to stand up against the Empire and to fight in a kind of rebellion. Like, you can see the switch up immediately when she starts saying that, oh yeah, she'll go, even though she was so like, the personality changed, the attitude changed. She was so sort of scared for Andor, but then like, oh no, yeah, I'll go, yeah, I'll go. And then just having it all fall apart for Andor, where she's basically saying how much the robbery inspired her, and she was able to walk through the square, which would have been so traumatic for her, yet Andor allowed her, his actions allowed her to go through with a smile on her face. And he can't even say that it was him that did it, because of course it endangers her. She is such an incredible character, and she is kind of the perfect one to die, since the show is called Andor and it needs him to end up with the rebellion. She would be the perfect one to die, but I hate the idea of it. But I think I'm really enjoying the fact that she represents, and what we see on Ferrix, she represents a response from what Andor did. So you have two sides. Marva represents the rebellion, Bix represents the Empire, in the sense of just showing effects. Bix has been beaten to a pulp, her boyfriend is dead, and that's what the Empire does. Yet for Marva, we get to see what the rebellion does, where it inspires, it gives people hope, it gives people a drive to fight back. You have both these conflicting characters so close to one another, and yet they're so insanely different because of what is just surrounding them. Andor is the only thing that kind of connects them, but you get to see how both push him away. One, because she understands that he's in a different part of life, where he's on a different path, which she can't follow. The other, because he's kind of burnt a bridge. She can no longer accept the risks that he brings towards her. It's so insanely well done, and I can't wait to see like if this can possibly be fixed. Because like, if this show is going to show off like the effects of a rising rebellion, I'd love to see that sort of change for Bix. Because if I am right, and Bix is meant to represent the negatives of the Empire and what it can do to people, while Marva represents just the hope that the rebellion can give. If things are getting worse, like they are with the Empire, does that mean things are going to get even worse for Bix if she's meant to represent the effects like this? It makes me concerned, it makes me worried, and I don't want to see that. I want to see her do well. And now on to Dedra. She scares me, and it's because of her competence. I absolutely loved the scene with her in the ISB meeting, and she completely owned it. I love the back and forth between them going after each other, talking about their successes and the evidence and all of this stuff, and I just love how she won in the end. She's proving herself. She's the underdog in that sort of scenario, and she's rising up. Of course, not everyone's going to be against her, and it's just weird how the scene, because they're the bad guys, they're the ones that you don't want to win, but the scene makes you root for this character. You want to see her succeed because you can see that she is right and she's being put down by others. And I guess the attitude of the person opposite her isn't the best, and you kind of just want her. It's satisfying seeing her beat that guy. She is right. She has the connections, and she is the person the ISB would aspire to be like. The one that can see the symptoms and track them back to the disease. The way it's done is incredible because it does make you sort of appreciate what she's doing, even though she is the one that you don't want to win. I think it's all to set up how powerful the ISB truly is by having her in that sort of position of power, because if she does rise up fully and like is very powerful in there, it will make them a very painful thing to deal with, which we know they are. Because right now I think if things stayed as they were, they don't really have a big effect on everything. We haven't really seen their effect on stuff, we haven't seen their effect on Andor or anything. But with Dedra getting her way, I feel like that's when we're going to start seeing him actually become a more powerful influence on the galaxy. And now we have poor Cyril, and I can totally see why people call him Cereal now. Every time you just see him, he's just eating cereal, so that's quite funny. But yeah, he has been stuck in an office job. He's gotten his job from Uncle Harlow, so that's fine. But again, it's all about his ego and the way he views himself. He does not consider himself the reason that they failed. Literally, he could have, if he hadn't given information away, would Andor have been able to escape? I feel probably yes, because he was partnered with Luthen, who I feel like could have taken them all out. We don't know the extent of what this character is capable of, but Cyril definitely did not help himself. He became a hostage and he gave information away. He could have chosen to let himself die for the cause and the Empire, but he didn't. He gave information away, which ultimately allowed them a better chance to escape. Yet he doesn't see it that way. He sees it as his superiors failing. The way he sees it, he was on a righteous mission to avenge the deaths of 2 cops and to bring glory to the Empire. Apparently no one else sees it that way, and he can't understand why. So he is completely deluded in that sense, where he's unable to see the other perspectives of that mission and to see where he was at fault. He has such high opinion of himself. Of course, you have the mum, who I think tries to bring him down, so she really is right in that sense. He tailors his whatever he wears for whatever reason, but the mum points out that there's things about it that can send a different message. He refuses to accept that. He even went to the interview in the same thing that he wore without taking her advice on board. So he has a very high opinion of himself, and that will hopefully be his downfall. It's his ego. He's seen now, because now, another thing that's going to make him even crazier is he's been shoved in a tiny cubicle with a million other people doing the exact same thing. There's nothing special about him in this scenario, and when he does see himself as someone special and someone superior and better. I feel like there's going to be so many things piling onto this character which is going to drive him insane, and I kind of love how long it's taking. It could have just been after the first arc that we see him start rising up again. Nope. He's still just being piled on in just how much the universe is going to attack him like this. More and more things are going to add to his superiority complex, and I just can't wait to see when the bubble will burst and when he'll start being able to climb back out of it. And then the Empire. I think this show I'm absolutely loving because of how it's shown off the Empire. The way the Stormtroopers treated Andor at the end was an awesome representation of what the fascist and authoritarian regime of the Empire would be like. Because half the time we never really see them interact with people in this way. It's always blast fire. They are the things that are what the heroes fight against. That's basically it. It's fine, but giving them this sort of representation and dialogue and just this action was really worth it. Because the Stormtroopers are always just seen as a threat. They carry blasters, they're the things that the people need to defeat to move forward. Here, we get to see them in a much more realistic sense, where they're questioning this bystander and forcing a crime upon him when he's done nothing wrong. This show's also gone to show off the bad guys as just being regular people as well, so we're getting to know a great sort of realism behind this thing, and it makes the connection and just the way we think of them that much deeper. Like, you can feel such a visceral hatred towards this one Stormtrooper in particular for what he did to Andor, because we've seen what he's done, and you can think of real life examples of that. You also have the whole flashback sequence where you get to see the Stormtroopers again. I think I just love the light that they're putting on the Stormtroopers in this. They were shown off in 3 instances. The flashback when they were sort of nearly following Andor when the flashback kicked in. Got to see them standing by the fire when young Andor tried to attack them, and then you get to see them arresting him. So in the first instance, we get to just see how they are basically just weapons and tools where they arrest harmless people, where they're directed by someone else to arrest Clem. Then we get to see them as, I guess, just regular people, where they're standing by a fire, chatting, probably in their off time before they get attacked by a kid. And then we get to see the last one, where we get to see the immense corruption and just how the power goes to their heads. They are not just walking weapons, they are people that are just so twisted and corrupted. I kind of love that it adds more to, I guess, Tamarin as well. Even though he's dead, he was an ex-Stormtrooper. He was once part of this whole thing, yet left it. It's such a great contrast to show, like, what kind of person would be like to actually stick with it for that long, and what kind of person you can be after it. As for what's next, Andor's been locked up, so that's great. We know Vela's coming for him, so that's going to be difficult to deal with when he's stuck in prison. Wonder if she'll even do... what? The angle there. Is it worth it to Luthen to take him out while Andor's in prison, or will he just think... either he'll just see the Empire being able to take care of him by themselves so he won't have to intervene, or if they connect the dots, it would be even more dangerous having him with the Empire than, I guess, him dead. So it's going to be interesting no matter what, whatever Val decides to do in this scenario. But we know she's coming for him. So that's fun and dangerous. But like, how on earth can he get out of that then? Because this whole point of the show is to get Andor ready to be in part of Rogue One. The first thing we get introduced to him in Rogue One is him listening to an informant who has a broken leg and then him killing him because he would have slowed him down. It shows him as a merciless assassin working for the rebellion. It shows him he has that dedication and passion to fight, but also the part of him that's dead inside who's ready to kill anyone that gets in his way. He's not there yet, and how can he get there by going in prison? What can the prison possibly do for him at this point? I feel like the main thing was just show off the Empire's injustice, because I imagine there'll be a lot of people there like him and be in the same scenario where they did tiny things, maybe they didn't even do anything wrong, and they've still been given gigantic sentences where they now have to stay in a prison. So this could add to motivation, but also it could add more to him running away. Either this could be a turning point for him, or it's just going to push him further and further away so that the eventual turn is even more satisfying. I'm just trying to figure out how far they can push him in one direction before they're able to twist him back into the other. Overall, this episode was just amazing. Each episode is just getting better and better. I still think my favorite's got to be episode 6, both visually and just what it does in general. This episode was a nice misdirect and just, I thought it would process everything from episode 6. It did not. This just shows the effects of what's going on with the galaxy. It doesn't give Andor time to sit down and just think about everything. He's constantly on the move. And just everything about it is just incredibly well done. All the things that they're able to balance. This dealt with Luthen, Mon Mothma, even Vel, along with going back to Ferric, seeing what Bix and Marva are up to. And it does feel like there's a turning point in the galaxy now. We are going into the next arc. Things have changed. The rebellion did something. They made the Empire bleed a bit, but now it is going to punch back. This episode was just a great way of just making the story accelerate a bit even more. We now have a good understanding of all the threats that are going on in this story. Everything's been built up incredibly well, and now you're sort of taking Andor out of it and shoving him in prison. So it's going to be so interesting to see how that will all play out. But yeah, with that said, that does bring me to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments, and with that, I will see you in the next one for Season 1, Episode 8. See ya!